Hello telepresent users, Robert here from PivotSIP showing you how to update your firmware on a Live Mod Pro. First we want to make sure our smart glasses are connected to power and power it on with the Live Mod Pro in access point mode. Next we are going to connect to the local area network and open up our internet browser. Depending on the current firmware of the Live Mod Pro, you can access the Live Mod Pro's web interface by entering pivotvision.com or the Live Mod Pro's IP address. The current Live Mod Pro I am using has older firmware and I'll have to enter in the Live Mod Pro's default static IP address, which is 192.168.42.1. Once the web interface has loaded, you will automatically load into the device settings page. Under device info, you can view the current firmware of the device. Next to the current firmware version, there will be two different icons that appear next to it. These icons will let you know if you have the latest version of the firmware or if an updated version of the firmware is available. You can click on the orange update icon and it will start the firmware update process. However, we are going to navigate to the firmware page on the web interface. On the firmware page, you will also be able to view the current version of the firmware along with the update and latest icon next to it. Now, when the Live Mod Pro is connected to the network, the Live Mod Pro will automatically check for firmware updates and download them to the device itself. Here in the firmware page, you can see my device has already notified me a firmware update is available and already has downloaded the firmware. To start the update process, you can click the Update Now button to begin the process. For telepresent users that use a custom firmware, we'll have to update the firmware manually. To manually update the firmware, browse and select the specific firmware file you wish to upload. Always verify the selected firmware file you wish to upload. By clicking the Update Now button, you can start the firmware upgrade process. Before you start any updates, make sure your glasses are connected to power. If the glasses were to power down in the middle of a firmware update, the glasses could be damaged. Once the updating process has started, it will take approximately 4 minutes for the device to update the firmware. Once the update process has finished, you are ready to go with the new firmware. You may need to reconnect to your Live Mod Pro if your computer disconnected from the network. Thanks for watching.